All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Sports Esports Podcast. I'm your host, William, and with me today I have Brock.
Wow.
And we're in week 10 of the LCK. This is the final week of the season. Uh, Last week I had another perfect week, and Brock, I don't know what to tell you. I've had three perfect weeks this year, and all three of them you went 9-1, 7-1, and 7-1. And two of them, Afrika was your only loss. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, so you've had a combined 25-3 during those weeks, and haven't won a game, haven't won a week. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
So for the regular season now, I am ahead of you by 1 point. I am 57-25, and now Korea is actually my best region after starting out 4-6 back-to-back weeks, and then 6-4. After that, I've been 10-0, 6-4, 8-0, 5-3, 6-2, 8-0. So it's been really good since then. I believe I estimated after the first 2 weeks in this Damwon game right here, losing the first game of the series, I was 8-13. So since then, I'm currently 49-12. Like, that is amazing. I'm so happy about that.
That's
Just,
pretty good.
just to make sure that doesn't. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's get into this week's games. First matchup was Griffin versus Hama Life. Griffin's back. um,
Yeah.
16k gold lead at the 27-minute mark. 15k, not that bad. Oh my god. And
Yeah, they
how?
didn't pull any punches in this game.
No, they came back with a vengeance. And I just want to say that I am sorry to IG fans now, as they have adopted this new curse I'm forming. This is a curse that I didn't know I had in me until 2 weeks ago, when I mentioned on the podcast that Griffin is the number one team in the world in my power rankings for like all the regions. They went 0-2. Okay, weird, especially against a freaking GG. Doesn't make sense. So the next week I put Top Sports as the number one team in the world because I thought they were doing fantastic, and I thought Knight is just popping off in LPL. They go 0-2. Weird. Then this week, I said IG is definitely the best team in the world. They look completely solid. Guess who lost today? IG. So for me, the last 3 weeks, the teams that I've said are the number one team in the world are 0-5. So let that one sink in. I think Griffin had a great game though against Time of Life in this one, and yeah, they came back strong, absolutely strong, because they looked pretty good in the second one as well. They did give up 6 kills, but this has been an issue all year with Hama Life as well, where we've said constantly. Oh, thank you very much for the subscription, Edal. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, but Hummel, I'm like, I lost my train of thought. Thank you. Hummel Life, they haven't been able to pull off the wins against the big teams, and this is why they have been eliminated from the playoffs now. You know, Brock might be AFK. I'm gonna move on. That Griffin just a huge blowout. Oh, you Brock, you back?
I'm using my not my push talk. I'm using my mute key, but I forgot that I also hit the button on my microphone. So when I was talking, I was still muted.
Nice. Was I just talking right
Sorry.
over you, and you're like, what the hell?
No, I was actually talking during the pauses, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Sorry, apologize. This is what happens when you have dogs that don't listen. Uh, yeah. God, you really expect more from like Hanwha. I did towards the middle of the season. I was like, I didn't expect them to like blow games out, but I kind of thought I would see more than we did, and it's kind of upsetting. I mean, I put them in six, so I mean, they obviously did show something, but there's so many teams that looked good, but yeah, like you said, they couldn't get past the upper echelon of teams.
Yeah, and it's in a sense that The issue I have with them as well, they've been eliminated from the playoffs now, mathematically. They lose. The best they can do is tie Damwon, and they lose the tiebreaker against them. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure about that, right? I'm not just saying that out on my ass here. Let me double check. But yeah, I think they lose the tiebreaker. And what it came down to was that they, like we said, they were able to beat the good team. They are much better than teams like like Genji and Afrika and KT and stuff like that this year. But and they're not going to get relegated, so they know that. But the issue was they could never beat Damwon and they could never beat Sandbox, and they were close to Griffin in the first game of their first series against them, but then they threw 9K gold lead. And like outside of that, they just got crushed to these top tier teams. So they really were a middle of the pack team, but they just weren't. They didn't have enough in them. They needed to pull at least like one of these upsets off. Like just one of these upsets would have brought them a long way.
Yeah.
So that was. Oops, I didn't want to get rid of that one. That was the first game between KZ and KT. Let me pull that back up. Cause do you want to talk about that one while you have it up while I try to get it back?
Which game?
The first game between Kingzone and KT.
Oh, between Kingzone and KT.
Yes.
Yeah, it was kind of not a close game at all. Like objective wise, KT got 2 dragons, I guess. I mean that's something, but that was really it. Like 16-7 at the end of the game. Yeah, not very good. Although Kingzone showed a lot.
17-7, by the way.
Yeah, 17-7. I have no idea what I said. What did I say?
16-7. You were close. You're close.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Very small.
I'll be completely honest. I took a nap right before this started.
Yeah. I go up to... I'm like, hey, Brock, let's start the podcast. No response. He just shows up in Discord. He's like, yeah, I just woke up.
Yeah.
And this is at like 9:55, by the way.
Yeah, I took a little brisk nap. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, this was, like you said, a big blowout. Deft has been... I think Deft's MVP of the split. I really do. I really think that Deft has been able to... I know you can make the argument that he doesn't have as good of stats as some of the Griffin players, but look who he's playing around compared to the Griffin players. I think he should be unanimous MVP in my opinion. In my opinion, he's just been so good, and he's put Kingzone all the way up to tied for 3rd place. Where after week 2, I thought Kingzone was getting relegated. To be honest.
Yeah, Jin Air kind of took that from him.
Next game though, they also blew out KT, and Def was on the Kog'Maw. We don't see Kog'Maw too often. That was interesting to see, and I like to see it because Kog'Maw did get a double kill. It was a crazy bot lane fight. It didn't work, or it was around Dragon, obviously for Cloud Drake too. Crazy when you lose four people for Dragon, but it still got Kog'Maw 2 kills, which is important because Kog'Maw's a late game hyper carry. And then the next fight, as you can see, Kog'Maw got another 2 kills, and then he didn't get any here. I was kind of hoping he'd get more, but they still won another fight. They were able to take the Baron, and then they had full control of the game right after that Baron. They had a 4-1 Kog'Maw by that point, I believe. Yeah, 4-1 Kog'Maw at 20 minutes with Baron buff. You're just going to have so much pushing power with his extended range. I know Vayne is a late game carry as well, but she has such a short range compared to Kog'Maw that I like Kog'Maw better in that scenario because he can get 2 autos off before Vayne can even get in range. And then at that point, Vayne is in big trouble, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Vayne is a lot of mechanically doing some crazy stuff, blah, blah, blah. But Kog'Maw, nah, he's just going to stand there.
Don't be hating.
He's just going to stand there.
He stands there and he shreds. And
heals. So that's good.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah, that's nice.
He's like a machine gun.
Yep. Yeah. Completely fair, by the
way. Hey, we don't see Kog'Maw that often anymore. This isn't the Ardent Sensor meta anymore, Brock.
Good.
Yeah, I did not like that. Next, we'll try and go through these a little quicker because late again because we're good at this at being on time. And this game didn't matter too much. It was Genji versus Afrika. First game, Genji absolutely crushed. Peanut had a very good game on the Olaf. They pretty much, I won't say they absolutely crushed. My bad. They threw a Baron. They gave up a sneaky Baron while not giving up any. You very rarely see a Baron take by a team that's down 4K gold and no deaths are for it, you know?
Is this what Peanut needs?
To
Skillless junglers?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Like, are we here? Because, like, in game 2 where he picked Lee Sin, I was just like, I don't even. It's like, last season, Peanut picks Lee Sin, I'm in that game. Like, I'm watching that because some crazy stuff's about to happen. He picked Lee Sin next game, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's
I almost knew nothing impressive was going to happen.
And nothing impressive. What was impressive, though, was Ruler and Fly. We have to shout out Fly. He had a phenomenal series for being probably the worst mid laner of all teams this year. Like, to be honest. Like, he had a very impressive series, and he showed up. And this was important because it basically sealed. It hasn't sealed it, but it's gotten close that make Genji does not have to play for relegation. And what really hurt this was this game actually made KT in a much worse spot. So KT is looking like the team that's outside looking in when it comes to relegation this year.
I want to see that.
That's insane. You go from a super team, should have won Worlds, went to game 5 with IG, like super close battle, and then next split you're relegated. Weird.
It's not good.
Next we had SKT versus Sandbox. The kill score, Sandbox was looking good because the kill score was like equal here. They were winning by 4K, but then they just got simply outclassed. Honestly, this gold lead was kind of a lie, to be honest, because once this team fight happened here around the 25-minute mark and Teddy popped off, got 2 kills, Clid got 2 kills. You want to see a nice Lee Sin. Clid's Lee Sin is the new Peanut Lee Sin from old.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, that man's a monster.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, after that, you knew SKT was going to win the game. They took all the momentum out of this fight. Even though they were still down gold, they took the tower, they gave up a dragon, but then they took a Baron, they took a tower, and then they just cleaned out the game. They just looked too much for Sandbox, who's really, I don't want to say they've fallen off necessarily, but they don't look like the team that took a game off Griffin back at the beginning of the split.
Yeah, back when nobody was doing that.
Yeah. And
yeah, they really just got out everything. Like out rotated, out team fight.
Mm-hmm.
Team fought, I guess would be the correct word. Out team fought?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their team fighting wasn't as good, we'll say that. Yeah, everything that Sandbox tried to do, SKT really just did it better.
Yep. And same goes for game number 2 as well, where it was like just a tiny gold lead, but this whole time SKT just felt like they were in complete control of this game. Like even though they weren't really winning this game until the big fight here around the 26-minute mark, where Teddy gets a triple kill and goes and gets Baron, and they get Baron and close out the game immediately after that. Like they were only up by 3k gold by that point, but the whole time they felt like they were just biding their time, waiting to take control, which is a very risky strategy to do against Jinx, to be fair. But yeah, they just seemed like they were in complete control of the game the whole time. They might not have been CSing as well. Like overall, Khan was not CSing as well as Summit and stuff like that. Summit was playing really well. He went 1-3, but I thought he was playing really well on the rise. To be honest, he was absorbing a lot of pressure. Next we have KT versus Jinair. Do we even need to talk? We'll talk super briefly. The fact that Jinair looked like they were going to win this game. Then they gave up the Baron and gave up the kills for free. This is the worst Baron right here, by the way. Just to point out, this was... Oh, man. Jinair kills... what's his name? No, wait. Am I looking at the wrong one? I am. Whoops. Never mind. This was the worst Baron. Right here. There we go. I'm like, I knew there was a Baron in this game that was terrible. and they killed C's. And you want to know what Jin Air did instead?
Uh,
What do you think they did when their jungler dies? The Baron has 2k life left on it. What do you think the best idea is to do?
something terrible.
Yes, something terrible, as in, let's burn it down now at 2k.
Mm.
So Score just comes over the pit. He's Rek'Sai. He can do that. And he just smites it. Like, what? What were you thinking? You should have known immediately that, oh, they have a smite. We don't. Let's not. Let the Barons at 2k. We can escape. We can retreat. They stopped our Baron take. Let's just not do this. Nah. Let's go for it anyway. They won't expect it. They probably didn't, but that didn't stop the reaction times to be able to still take it. And then that eventually they were in the game the whole time, but they, like I said, they weren't really winning in my opinion. They were winning in gold, but they didn't have the tempo that Jin Air did. And then Jin Air did get this Baron, and then they're coming back, and then they die, and then they fail, and then it was sad.
You know what else is a terrible thing that you probably shouldn't do? Your siege minions, okay, are underneath their Nexus tower. You're team fighting, and you're getting backdoored. You know what you probably shouldn't do? Probably shouldn't continue to fight. If you leave your fight, which they were actually winning at the time because Root, their ADC, Jin Air's ADC, was full health the whole time. But he's still just going in, fighting, chilling, while Nico's just backdoored him the whole time. I don't know, man. Like, this is easily the worst team I have ever seen.
100 Thieves would like to argue that with you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
they're really bad. They are really bad. I'm gonna be. I know Jin Air's been in the league since like the beginning, basically. Gonna be upset if they survive relegation. I want some fresh blood. I want some fresh blood. I'm sorry.
There's no way they could possibly survive that. No way.
There shouldn't be. Like, I'll be okay if like KT survives, you know, because like maybe this was just a bad split. Maybe refresh, you know. But Jin Air,
no, that's
they did get spicy with the Zed in game 2.
Yeah,
they played that Zed Chungo on the Zed. I mean, they were kind of in it, which is kind of pathetic on KT's end. And then KT was able to take over just off of how bad Jin Air. I like Grace, to be fair. I know he didn't have a good game in this game at all, and this is a terrible game to bring this up. I like Grace. I don't mind C's compared to Malrong. Malrong I thought was terrible, just off the fact that he had 4 or 5 Rift Heralds interrupted within like 6 weeks. Like, he never learned. I don't know why. That's such a waste of your gold right there and your time to not get those Rift Heralds. If getting interrupted, if their plate's down, that's a free kill you gave to the enemy team, like in negative gold if you think about it. Like, it's just so. It's so frustrating. This whole team's frustrating. I don't know why they're not even playing Stitch. I know he hasn't looked good in the games he played, but he's only played like 1 game, 2 games at most. Like, play Stitch too. I'd like him from G-Rex.
I mean, the only thing that came out of this was possibly one of the greatest Gragas Yasuo plays I've ever personally seen. Which came off of an insane Zed play, which was really good too.
Yeah.
So y'all see that play a little later. But it was, aside from that, it's just one of those games where you're like, I don't even know why I'm watching this.
Do we have LS's ear screeching reaction?
You sure do.
All right, I love it. I love it. Next, we had Griffin versus Damwon, and Griffin just simply outclassed Damwon. Griffin's back. Pretty much all we need to say. Next game, they outclassed Damwon again. 18k gold lead at 31 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Oh, Griffin came back with a vengeance this week. It makes me happy. It makes me really happy because I thought there's no way. There's no way this team is losing to like teams like Afrika and Genji. I mean, factually they did, but it was just a hiccup week in my opinion. Like, they got it together, and now they're angry now. It actually made it worse. Somehow became better because of it.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you stop, like, hearing something that's a good matchup against something and then just playing it?
Yeah.
Like playing Swain into Lissandra. Like,
Hey, I love
yeah,
that.
that could possibly be a good matchup. Let's do it. It's really not. Like, you can't assume something's a good matchup when you're
I
playing against
I
Griffin.
disagree, but I agree with that point. But I disagree because I think Swain is an excellent matchup in Lissandra. It's like 4-0 outside of that Griffin game.
Well, the thing is, whenever you're playing against a good team like Griffin, Swain doesn't have escapes. He has a CC that's easily dodgeable, but against Lissandra, you get poked down a lot, and your only healing comes from if you land your W, I think.
No,
Um,
the healing doesn't. Well, you have to get the crystals to heal.
he has the other what?
The crystals, his like passive crystals, that give him the most power with his ult. And you land.
Oh, you're talking about, yeah, but isn't that damage, like, you get those crystals in your ult?
No, you get them to
I'm trying
charge
to
up.
remember how Swain works.
You get them to charge up your ult. You get them if someone gets CC'd and you grab them, or if you CC'd them with your E, grab
Oh,
them. You
yeah,
also
yeah,
get them with and every enemy hit by a W as well.
yeah. But I mean, outside of his ult, I think the only thing that heals him is his W.
I don't even know if the W heals him. I
Yeah,
haven't
it does.
played him
It
in a
heals
while.
him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go
because
with
it sends birds back to him for each one hit. And that
it.
heals him.
Yes, but even
But
if he has max crystals, is it the passive that heals him, or not the W itself? Anyway, semantics.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, you get abused when people like against better people. I'll say that you get abused by the fact that your range as Swain, you can get poked out anytime you step up from Lissandra,
but
and you're not going to be able to heal that back.
it's the same. Lissandra's range is the same as Swain's range, which is what makes him the counter.
Yeah, but Lissandra Swain is enhanced by hitting minions, though.
That is true, but Swain is able to wave clear faster than Lissandra, and because of that, it prevents a lot of her roaming. And he has very similar range setup, and he has the CC to pull her back from even if like it can stop her before she uses her E, or she has to use the claw the E. I don't the claw. I'm just gonna say
Yeah. That's yeah.
yeah. But it stops her from her E before she can actually like get away with it. And if she takes it early, then your jungler can pounce on that. In my
Does
opinion.
he have better wave clear than Lissandra?
Yeah, once you get a Rod of Ages, you're good with the wave clear with your Q
Yeah, well, yeah,
with the shotgun fist.
yeah. But I'm thinking about Lissandra has three. Oh, we've talked about this for way too long. But I guess if you put the proto belt and then the rest of the abilities, but you got to think about it. If they're trying to out wave clear each other, they're not roaming. That's a lot of mana.
But true, but Swain roams aren't necessarily what he's known for. He's more for teleport flanks.
Mm-hmm.
But Lissandra is definitely known for roam. So if he's able to keep her in the lane, he's negating a lot of her ability in the early game. But let's move on. Let's move on to the
Sandbox. It didn't work this game. We'll say that.
It didn't work against Griffin. Yeah, that is correct. Sandbox versus Hanwha Life. Sandbox was able to take the victory here, and this was a close game, as you can tell. It never got below or more than 2K until the very end of the game, and like even then, that was 34 minutes in a 36-minute game.
Yeah, and that's got a lot to do with inhibs, towers, nexus being taken. Those things add up to being above a 2K goal.
Yeah. How Lava played amazing on the LeBlanc. I still think he's one of the best LeBlancs in the world. He had a good game on the Jace against the Summit, or against the Summit. Summit's York is disgusting, by the way.
I was about to say that's a good thing to name when he plays York. That is now the Summit.
Yeah, he's one of the best Yorks I've seen in all the regions, and yeah, he just simply that was. Good game. It was a good game. It was close. It was very close.
Mm-hmm.
Next, Sandbox did take a 2-0 here. This one was not as close. This one was quite a blowout, and Sandbox absolutely destroyed with Dove with 6-1-8. On Fleek went 4-0-10. Sandbox. You guys start banning York against it. I guess they went with a Jax, open for the reliable Jax counter into York, but it doesn't stop Summit on York. Jax doesn't bother him.
Yeah, you can Counter Strike York all you want, but you're not Counter Striking 3 ghouls and a maiden.
Well, you could technically if you want.
I don't think you
Would
might
it?
be able to do the ghouls. I'm not sure if the it counts it for the maiden.
I don't know off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
I don't know that
We're not
matchup.
getting into
So
another Swain
yeah, we're not getting into
Lysandra.
another one of those, but we will say we don't know.
Jax usually counters Yorick. This time it
Yeah,
didn't, but we
yeah.
have no more 20-minute conversation about
No
why.
more 20-minute conversations.
All right, I'll move on. We had Afrika versus KZ, and Afrika won the first game. I'm gonna bring up the LCK schedule here real quick for a freak for Kingzone. This is important because Afrika winning against Kingzone here, like so Afrika lost or Kingzone sorry Kingzone lost 2-0 to no, let's even go back even further. Kingzone beat Jin Air 2-0. They beat Sandbox 2-0. They beat Hamlin Life 2-0. They lost to SKT 2-0. Then they beat Damwon 2-0, beat Jin Air 2-0, beat Genji 2-0, beat KT 2-0, and beat Afrika 2-1. Do you see the difference between this game and the others? Since week 5, the first game of week 4, Kingzone has swept every opponent except for SKT and where they got swept. So Kingzone has looked mighty good since week 4.
Yeah.
So this was a very impressive win for Afrika. They controlled the whole game pretty much. It was very nice. However, they did not win the series. As in game 2, Kingzone absolutely destroyed them, 14-2, like almost a 20k gold lead there. Yeah, that's like a 16. It's a 15k gold lead. I think it's more than that. What that? Come on.
It's like a 19K, right?
Yeah, it was like super super blowout. Cuz is disgusting. Speak about Summit's Yorick. Cuz's Rek'Sai has been the main reason for this evolution of Kingzone that they're so good now. Not only is Def putting him on the back, but Cuz's transformation from being a very below average jungler in this year to being like one of the best junglers with the Rek'Sai. I would definitely be banning Rek'Sai against Cuz.
Which is so crazy to say, because like when you look at Rek'Sai's kit, you're like, okay, nothing this person's gonna do is gonna be impressive. And for the most part, when people play it, it's really not. And then you've got Cuz.
I disagree. I think that Rek'Sai's kit is pretty strong when they made the alt point and click. It gives her if you get her entire abilities, all of her abilities off with the point and click alt, they're near, you can't miss, and it does about 5 times your AD with your whole combo. So it's about 5 times what your AD is. So if you build like say 200 AD, you just did 1,000 damage off a point and click because it leads into your like knock up because you get to them and stuff like that. So it's very very reliable 1,000 damage kinda, but it doesn't work with some junglers like Xmethy. Next game we had Kingzone versus Afrika. We saw the Camille jungle. We haven't seen that since the nerfs. They kind of gutted Camille jungle by her E no longer stuns monsters in the jungle. And yeah, they still had the lead the whole time. Deft was doing good, but this was all Pawn as well. He 10-1 and 8. He popped off on the Rise. And it's weird that we're starting to see Rise a bit more, but granted I do see him in the LPL as well. I love Doinby's build, at least part of Doinby's build from Fun Plus Phoenix is making it into every region now with the Righteous Glory on Rise. I think it's a genius.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a genius idea.
Yeah, see how you feel about the Swain matchup against Lysandra? That's how I feel about the Rise matchup. Because it's such an easy matchup for Rise because all you're doing is pushing her under tower. Like, she legit can't do anything, and you have a teleport. So you're essentially negating Lysandra, and you're doing what she's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're teleporting in, you're flanking in, you're doing these crazy things, and she's stuck CSing under tower.
That's a good point.
For team fights, obviously, once you get to late game, Swain will be able to, jump in there and do Swain things. But, man, a late game Rise, whew, that's terrifying.
Yeah, late game Rise, if he can get his combo off on the whole team, disgusting. This game, by the way, you really felt for Keen. You really, really had the feel for Keen in this game.
Oh, he tried his best.
Oh man, he couldn't ask for a heavier weight on his shoulders than his a freak of freaks.
Literally the rest of his team.
Oh my god, he literally was like a raid boss on a collie. He wasn't tanky. You can see his build. That's not a tanky build. Merc treads maybe, but that's it. Like, man, he just survived everything and got kills doing it too. But
Yep.
the rest of his team 1-7, 2-7, 2-6, 0-5. Not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it. You can't really win 1v5 too often in League.
Yeah, we've all played solo queue. We know exactly the feeling this guy's going through.
Yeah. Now let's go on to our players of the week, as that was our review. Our players of the week this week was top laner of the week was SKT Khan. He had a KDA of 14, a CSM of 8.5, damage percentage of 17.9, and a DPM of 412. Jungler of the week was Griffin's Tarzan, a KDA of 26, damage percentage of 17, and a DPM of 264. Mid lane of the week was Kingzone's Pawn that we just talked about. He had a KDA of 9, a CSM of 9.2, damage percentage of 20.1, and a DPM of 421. ADC of the week was SKT's Teddy. He had a KDA of 25, average kills of 8, CSM of 10.9, damage percentage of 40.1, and a DPM of 923. And finally, support of the week was Griffin's Lehens. He had a KDA of 46 this week. Big KDA. Average assist 10.5, but only a 2.07 vision score. I didn't want to put it, but I had to, flame him a little bit for that. He wasn't putting any vision on the map. Griffin was just blowing people up, I guess, before the vision, but what the heck, Lehens? It's a professional game.
Yep.
And now, do you have play of the week? I'm assuming you do.
I sent it to you.
Let's pull this up. Alrighty, so I am
Make sure you turn your volume up for this one.
up.
Yep. You're also going to want to hear this one.
This is a volume warning. I've already seen this play before. Brock showed this to me. This was on top of Reddit. Volume warning. This is going to be loud. 3, 2, 1, go.
1-2 punch from the side of Zed, and now King it all alone. Oh, baby! Then Zoe are under the Yasuo into the backline, just decimates the
Great
entire
play.
team.
Oh,
What?
such a good play. Just the 4-man Gragas ult into the Yasuo ult. Love to see it. You just love to see it.
And I wish I could remember which podcast it was on because we've done so many. But a while back, I was saying when people were doing Yasuo and something else, I think Alistar bot lane, I was like, man, you got to go Yasuo Gragas. It's so much better.
Yeah. You have so much freedom with the ult.
Yeah, because it's not like it's a hard ult to land. It's a very big AoE.
Don't tell that to most of my Gragases.
Yeah,
But yeah, what a fantastic play. And I love LS's reaction. I've actually, shout out to LS, man. I think he's one of the best, casters on, for all regions at the moment. He makes me laugh when I'm listening to the games. Maybe it's because I watch so many games. So, the whole, stall phase and stuff like that, where teams just sit and do nothing. It gets really boring when you watch almost 100 games a week. You've seen it all before, so a lot of his not paying attention to the game, his Pokemon talk, that is more interesting to me during those times, and it makes me laugh. I appreciate it a lot. Which I didn't think I'd like him because I had never watched anything from him, but I had just known from his reputation that he's super toxic.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to give my opinion on LS. Also because I'm still friends with your brother.
All right. So then let's go over our power rankings. Not too much changed. I think that out of all the regions, LCK is the most predictable with how the teams are ranked up. The only thing I changed is Kingzone over Sandbox because Sandbox has been struggling, in my opinion, lately. Where Kingzone, as I showed before, has lost one series and 3 games total since the 5th week of the season. So they've been on fire. So I've moved Kingzone up to number 3. Sandbox dropped to number 4, in my opinion. And they're tied in the standings. And the rest are just how the standings show is exactly how these teams are, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then so let's go straight to our predictions, our final predictions, Brock. You got to have
Yep.
at least one different so you can time me. But
This one.
every time you have one different, I somehow win
One
it.
by one.
So let's start. First, this
This
is
one pick, it won't be a freak, I'll tell you that much.
yeah. This is
Watch a freak beat SKT. I will be pissed, by the way.
this is a tough week because a lot of teams are going to lock in their positions and not care as much anymore for the last week. So that's always tough to pick. SKT versus Jin Air, it doesn't matter. This is not one of those games.
Nope, this is not it.
2-0, and SKT still fighting for second place.
Yep, 2-0 as well.
Even if they weren't fighting for second place and they put their subs in, I would still pick them 2-0.
Yeah.
Damwon Gaming versus Gen G is a little interesting because Gen G is still technically fighting for relegation. Damwon Gaming is fighting for nothing. I'm still going to pick Damwon because I think they're going to be trying stuff out with Flame and Nogri, and they have to. I think that they'll just be able to stomp Kuve up in top lane. Either of them.
Mm-hmm.
Kuve's had a rough year.
Yep. I've got Jam 1-2-1.
Ooh, see, you're thinking as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I also had Damwon 2-1. KT versus Hanwha Life. This game is also quite interesting. Because Hanwha Life has always been very good at beating the teams below them, but now they are officially out of playoffs after they lost to Damwon last week. And so, was that last week or was that 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. But I think it was 2 weeks ago. But yes, they lost the tiebreaker there, and now they have to play for nothing. And KT is playing to not get relegated. Will that be enough for KT? I say no because of how bad KT has looked all year. I have Hanwha Life winning 2-1, but this would not surprise me if KT takes it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got Hanwha 2-1. I'll say 2-1. I'll give KT a little credit. They're fighting for something.
They're fighting for relegation. Where Hanwha's fighting for nothing, so it's tough to pick. I hate this last. I hate the first week because you don't know what's going to happen with all the new teams, and I hate the last week of the season. They're the toughest weeks to pick.
Yeah, they really are.
Next we had Griffin versus Kingzone. Griffin has already sealed first place, and Kingzone's looking really hot, but Griffin looks like angry. They look angry. If they wouldn't have beat up the teams that they played last week so bad, I would have probably picked Kingzone here for the upset, with Kingzone still fighting for second place. However, Griffin scares me.
Yeah, Griffin looks pissed.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go Griffin 2-1, though. I think Kingzone's going to take a game.
Yeah. I've got Kingzone winning.
You got Kingzone?
I'm coming for the pick.
Ooh.
And I'm picking a spicy win.
I like it. It's very possible Griffin maybe not playing for much and Kingzone fighting for that second place. It's very possible, Brock. I wanted to do it. I was just too scared. I was too scared to do it.
Yep. You know what happens when you're too scared?
Mm-hmm.
You usually come back the next week and say, I should have listened.
That is true. It happens a lot. Next, we have Sandbox versus Gen G. Man, I'm excited about your Kingzone pick. I want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen, but I do want to see it happen. Sandbox, I think they're still fighting for second place, and Gen G is fighting for relegation. So this is going to be a game that's actually going to be a hard-fought game. I think Sandbox wins it just off talent alone.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was literally anyone else so I could pick someone else too, but yeah, I think Sandbox is going to win this one.
Mm-hmm. Exact same scenario for this one, except a better team on one side and a worse team on the other side. SKT.
Yep, SKT 2-0. Or should we start? When do we start calling them T1?
Next split.
Next split? Okay.
Yeah, they can't legally change their name during the split. That was a rule that I found out.
Well, there we go. Now we know.
Next we have Griffin versus Jenner on the final day of the season.
Well, I'm coming for the win on this pick.
Griffin could show up 15 minutes into this game, like after being AFK, and be like, "Oh, sorry," and still win this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Griffin probably doesn't even need a jungler this game.
They can play 4
They can
people.
legit just go in with 4 people.
They'll have like bot Zinzao jungle or something. The bots don't even jungle.
You know what they should do? They should do the intermediate bot strat. 2 top, 1 mid, 2 bot. And just see what happens.
Just to see what happens.
Give Jin Airs, Malrang, or Seas, whichever one they use. Let them have the entire jungle. Both sides. Give them something.
It won't help. It
It's
wouldn't
not
help.
gonna
It wouldn't help
help
at all.
anything.
Yeah, this is as 2-0 as 2-0 can get.
Yeah, it's kind of impressive.
Like,
If for some reason you find yourself with nothing to do at Sunday morning, 3 o'clock, I believe Central Time, you don't have anything to do, don't watch this game.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Literally find anything else to do.
I'm like, I could even see Griffin just like trolling and picking like Nami, Janna, Thresh, Blitzcrank, like double, like all support type team,
I hope they do.
and
God,
still
I
win.
hope they do.
I could still see them winning with that comp. Like
Yeah.
that's how much of a skill disparity there is between Griffin and Janair. One is like probably the number 1, number 2 team in the league in the world. The other is like towards the bottom, 53, 54.
Uh-huh.
Can't get much bigger than that. Finally, last series. I am very disappointed you didn't pick Janair. You told me you were going to.
Yeah, get out of here.
I wanted my free win. Next series, we have Damwon versus KT. This is another tough one, just like the previous one, but I think Damwon will be able to win it. Smeb has been terrible up top lane for KT. I wonder if they're going to not play him and play Kingpin instead. But I still think Damwon wins this one, and they look strong coming in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got Damwon taking this one as well.
All right. So with that, we both have KT being relegated.
Yeah. Sad.
It is sad. All right, so the game to watch for us is Griffin Kingzone, which is probably game of the week anyway. But
100%.
that is the game they'll see if you tie me or I take another victory. This would be my 4th region, by the way. And I took the lead on LMS this week, so I could possibly go with the 5-peat this year. I'm really excited. I really, really want it.
I'll sandbagging for next season.
You're sandbagging for next season? Okay.
Yep, next season is what
not
happened.
that your record's bad, by the way. You're 56-26. That's really good.
Well, we're not talking about my NA record.
Yeah, not your NA. But yes,
We're not talking about that one.
we will be back next week. I don't know if playoffs start immediately the week after. If they do, we'll talk playoffs. If not, we'll go over the regular season stuff like we have for NA and LEC. If you want to see those, you can go check out those videos on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/kinglink. And look at that segue. Come subscribe there if you want to watch the videos there. If you're watching live on Twitch, you don't have to watch them because they're just going to be the same thing. But if you want to watch on Twitch, we stream every Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. at twitch.tv/kinglinkfan. So come follow and come join us in the chat, and I'll talk to you. I'm getting better at looking at my chat. I moved my notes so I can see it now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for LMS for that last week of the season. It's coming down to the end.
Also, thanks for the subscription.
Thanks for oh yeah, thank you very much, Yadal, for that subscription. I really appreciate it. I was not expecting that, and it caught me off guard. Thank you very much, and good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.